Yo, what is up, guys? What is poppin'? We are back with the NPL Season 6. This is Week 8 versus my boy Tyler, aka Phantombass. Great guy, old friend of mine. One of my longest friends in the format for sure, and a great guy. And he has improved as a player. We always joked how he was a free win like a year back or 2 years back, but he definitely has improved, even though he doesn't have the strongest season. I think he's 2-5 right now, but he's in a really tough division, and he's actually in our conference, so um, didn't have an easy schedule and lost a game or two here and there to some misplays or um, yeah, like to some 50-50s, bad decisions. But he overall he didn't play too bad, and he has a pretty threatening team. He has the Z Infernape potentially, he has Mew, has a Z potential Z Electivire, Mega Arrow, Florges, and Powder. Pretty much what I expected he would bring. Although like I wasn't sure if he would bring Florges or maybe like some threat like Dragalge or something to switch into my Volcarona or my Finny. But like this team that he brought pretty much made sense versus me. The team I built pretty much like a lot of what I brought all season long. We got nice land OT, Sword Stance, Rocks, Z Ground, Earthquake obviously, and Stone Edge. Pretty much claims the kill +2 versus everything. Like even max defense hit takes like 90 or 98 from +2 Tectonic Rage. We got a nice Defog Mega Scissor, Butte and Bullet Punch. Adamant, but lots of Fizz Depth, so we can shoot hits from Mega Arrow if needed. So we can roost up on a powder, so we can take hits from physical Evire, which actually is like a huge threat versus my team. Like I don't really have a good switch in because of its like mixed potential the coverage it gets. Pretty annoying to prep for, but we gotta pivot a little around it a little. So yeah, I gotta see how that goes. We got a nice bulky Volcarona. I think it's like enough speed to outrun Adam and Stoutland in the sand at +2. So like 133, I think. Some defense, max HP, modest with like 84 special attack EVs, which gives me some 2-hit KOs on max HP Dragalge with Psychic without boosting. It guarantees a KO with Fiery Dance, like unboost Fire Dance into Scissor Bullet Punch, guaranteed Bob's Mega Arrow, which is clean, and like Psychic into Bullet Punch, guaranteed Bob's Max HP Mega Arrow, which is definitely a set versus me. We got a nice Taunt, Spikes, Dual Stab, Skulls, Dark Pulse, Greninja with lefties, max HP, some defense, like 170 speed I think I hit, which creeps an Infernape that creeps Volcarona. I couldn't really afford more, but I don't really think he would run max speed 8, so who cares. But pretty nice mon if he wants to bring like a fatter squad, because I can taunt Mew, I can taunt Hippo, um, I can taunt Florges if needed, if like predict the wish, and I can taunt some stuff that he didn't bring, uh, some of his fatter mons. But I see he opted for more bulky offensive build, balanced build. So Greninja won't put in too much work, but if I can get up a spike, it could come in really handy chipping down Florges and hit powder on the switch in, putting like limiting Evire and Ape to some switches and putting Mew in range of some attacks. That could be pretty clean. We're gonna Moonblast, knock off Taunt, and protect Lefty's Finny. Protect the Scout for Z moves on Ape and Evire. I'm mostly Fist Step to chew like a Bandit Gang Shot with ease after rocks. Um, Knockoff is here to chip away, like, or like to negate lefties or get rid of lefties on his fatter stuff like Mew potentially, as well as Florges, but also to get rid of a potential assault vest user for my Volk, as well as potential assault vest or Black Sludge Dragalge, which can come in for free on me, and I don't want that to happen because Dragalge is a fuck one to switch into. And the last mono I bring is Reuniclus, the mono I just picked up like 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago. It's a Trick Room set with Life Orb, Modest Nature, but a lot of defense, Recover, Psychic, Signal Beam, and Trick Room obviously. Great late game cleaner versus him if I can chip down Hippo and Florges. This just wins. Even Mew, if it's max HP is to it go by Signal Beam like easily. It has to be like AV or something, or like max with Death Calm to like take two Signal Beams. So this mon really dangerous with my opponent, but I have to be mindful of potential pursuit on arrow, potential crunch, Z flare blitz from Apes, Gigavolt Havoc from this thing, Eva, and like potential knockout, for example, from Mew. So I can't bring it in too recklessly, so gotta play it mindful. But looking at this team, like Volcarona and Reuniclus both looking like sick win cons. Same with Scissor. If I get rid of um, get rid of Hippo and like weaken Ape to like 30% with a Spike Up or Rocks Up, um, I can pretty much bullet punch sweep, U-turn, chip some Mew. I don't know if he would have flamethrower. If he does, I can easily scout for it in the early game. So I'm not so concerned, but like for Reuniclus, I just need Flawless gone and maybe chip Hippo a little, depending on its set. And for like Volcarona to sweep, I just have to get rid of potential Scarf Ape and the Aerodactyl. So obviously I got a scout for Rock Slide or Stone Edge on Hippo, but overall, like Volcarona can really sweep fairly easily. I decided to lead off with my Lando. It gives me a great lead versus his potential rockers in Arrow and Hippodon because I just get the Intimidate off and can easily pivot into Scissor to defog and then like get a slow U-turn off or something, for example versus Arrow. So I'm like not too concerned. The only bad lead for me would be like Mew because I would have to scout for Ice Beam and Will-O-Wisp. But I can easily go into Finny to do just that. So we lead with Lando as he leads Evire. So I'm pretty sure he won't be Scarf Evire. That's what I know. But I'm also like I only got like 100 EVs in defense. If it's Adamant Life Orb, it is a roll to knock me out with Ice Punch, and I don't want to take it. But in my opinion, his best play is to switch out to Hippo or Mew here because like a speedy Mew with Ice Beam covers me going for Sword Stance. Everything like choose an Earthquake with ease pretty much, like without me being set up. And like if he goes Hippo and I don't pull a switch like into Finny or Gran here, which like is kind of bad, in case he wants to ball switch on an aggressive play. He gets a free rocks if it's rocks Hippo. So I decide to like cover a bunch of options here. Cover the Ice Punch, cover him going into Mew. Yeah, these are pretty much the two options that I want to cover. So I go into my Volcarona here. If he attacks me, I can get a Flame Body burn, but I do not, sadly. And this damage here, yes, the Power Punch. He stays into Power Punch, which pretty much surprised me. Mm, because max attack Earthquake has a chance to KO through Sugar Berry, I think, and like if I'm scarfed, he just drops. Like I really didn't get the play because it doesn't give him much. Like it's a very high risk, low reward play because he was intimidated, and like everything is still at full health. And if I have a Scarf Lando, now I know that I can revenge him easily. So that was a very wild, surprising play turn one, but it didn't matter too much. Yeah, we'll go because I don't want to take a Z Giga like a Z Wild Shot or something. Um, I'm gonna switch out back into Lando, I think, just to like see if he has a move to hit me with, like Rock Slide, or if he wants to waste the Z here. And like if he wants to switch out into Hippo or Arrow, Landers covers those two fairly well. I can scout for his speed if he switches out as well, as he does. Switches out before me and goes into Hippo, and I go into my Lando. I think like you will use this as an opportunity to set up his rocks, so I just go for the SD to pressure his entire squad, because if I'm Z-Fly, I pretty much am guaranteed to get a kill. Even if he goes Arrow, that just drops to Z-Fly +2. Obviously I don't have the Z-Fly, I changed it to Z-Ground, which I kind of regret. As he goes for the Ice Wing, does 50%, 51, which looks to be a little like minimal invested Hippo. Um, but like yeah, overall like Swordsman is worth the is worth the 50% because I'm pretty much guaranteed get a kill. I don't expect him to go into Arrow scouting for like the Z ground because Z fly just bobs it. I think his best play here is to sack Hippo, even if he has rocks on it. I don't think like um it like accomplishes much. It has a chance to live a Z fly or a Z ground if it's Fizz Death. So it can potentially get up Roxy and then like just revenge me later. Which like I think is in his best interest because Hippo did the job. It got damage off on Lando, and if you can get up rocks here living like a Z fly, if it's fifth death, um, it pretty much dealt with everything it needed to do. Even though my defoggers are still at full health, but overall I think Hippo is the mon that accomplishes the least versus me. Um, he can't really sack Arrow here in my opinion, because then Volcarona is pretty much freed up, especially if I chip this Hippo and yeah, Scout for Scarf Ape. He doesn't really have a countermeasure to Volcarona if I get a Quiver up. So um, I go for the Z Z Earthquake here. As he makes the play and goes hard into Arrow, which is a good play, but in my opinion, a way too risky play to make here. Because Z Fly just bobs regular Arrow, it just destroys it. But works out for him. I have to switch out here, scouting for the Ice Fang as he goes into Mew. I will go for the knockoff here. He gets hit by the Sandstorm before me, so he's potentially a speedy Mew, but I don't know yet because I don't have much speed on Finny. Um, but potentially it could be invested, which I think it would be versus a Lando squad. So he brings in Evi, and this reveals to be Z Evi because it don't knock off an item, which is good to know. But now again I have to pivot around this. I go for the Protective, seeing what he wants to do. If he wants to burn his Z here, if he has Sub-Zero Slammer, or wants to go for the Ice Punch, making this next play 50-50. I go to Lando here on the Power Punch, and then we'll go back into Volt on the Ice Punch. I'm just pivoting around. Sadly, Mr. Terrain is up, so I can't fish for a burn. And now I'm going back into Lando, trying to scout for the Rock Slide and get another Intimidator. As he goes into this thing, which works out well for me because I get the attack drop. Going to Gran on the Aerial Ace. I don't know why he went for Aerial Ace. That doesn't kill, and Stonage just knocks it out. Knocks the arrow out. I don't really get this play because later will reveal to have Ice Fang, I'm pretty sure, or not. But no, he didn't reveal to have Ice Fang. So yeah, probably was his best play there. But if he doesn't have Ice Fang, I think he should have. If he didn't have Ice Fang, I think he should have just switched out into something that deals with Lando, for example, the max HP Hippo. But anyway, I go to my Gran and I'm yeah, this could have Thunder Fang, but Thunder Fang will bounce after lefties, and I can get up a spike. I don't think he would stay in or would risk staying in, because with Thunder Fang he puts me in Torrent, and if I Scald or Surf, Arrow is just dead. But he goes for a Thunder Fang, gets the Para, which is super annoying, because now I lose the one Mon that is faster than Evire, so I'm in a pretty bad spot here. But yeah, that happens. I have been hexed too much this season. Sometimes I get frustrated in this one. I was yeah, dude, you make Sada, my man, I love you, but you make so many wild plays that are way too risky. And like now you get even rewarded for it by getting Para on Grand, which revenges Mew easily, revenges Ape potentially, revenges a weakened Evia, especially now that I'm in Torrent. Bobs pretty much everything on the Switch, and if I can chip down Floggus, if I can catch Floggus with a knockoff and a spike, then taunt it, it's in range of 2 Skulls after another spike. So it's he allows this Grand to get in Torrent and pretty much doesn't have really an answer, but gets a Para obviously. I hate these Fang moves. They always kind of hex me. Some flinch. Last week I got flinched by an Ice Fang. This week I get parried by a Thunder Fang. I hate these moves. They don't do jack shit to my mons, and they always fuck me up. But I get off the spike, which is huge. It just gets some necessary chip on some mons like Floggus and Hippowdon, which makes Reuniclus's job much easier. But I'm not willing to sack my Gran here. It still can come in on Hippowdon if I want to, and claim a kill with Scald, or claim do some big damage. Gone to my Scissor, and I think I Scout for the Fire Fang, but he goes into Mew, which is nice for me. I can just Moonblast here on this turn, I think. Yeah, as he goes for the Cycle, which looks to be max special attack, because 29 is a big roll. He could be 220, 204 or something, but that definitely looks like max attack Mew. So that's good to know. Max special attack maybe. That's good to know, because now I know that's probably not a Calm Mind variant, which could be annoying, but potentially it's a Nasty Blood variant, which I need to keep low for sure with with Finny here. This turn I think I go for the knockoff, trying to get rid of a potential expert belt or AV or something if it isn't, even though it revealed to not be AV. Or it could be helmet or something, which could be an annoying item, or even Tanga Berry or something or some random ass berry for my mons to fuck me up. So Flawless comes in, which is like what I talked about like a second ago. I get the knock off his lefties. It reveals to be Max Fist at Flawless, and now after a taunt here, as he tries to wish, um, forcing him pretty much I force him to switch out here, and after switching out and taking a spike, the next time it comes in on potentially Greninja, it would be 2 KO by Torrent boosted Skull. So it would be like at 69-70%, and Skull is like 35ish, or 34, and like probably was like would be a roll to not to a KO, but it would be like heavily in my favor. I think so. Having this Grand Knot Parrot could be like could come in really handy, but now I can't outspeed it because I'm Parrot. But anyway, Grand actually could have dealt with this Flawless on its own. That's what I'm trying to say. I go into Scissor now on the Moonblast potentially, and I think here I scout for no. Here I go for the U-turn because I scouted for the fire thing. He didn't reveal to have it, and he has to fear max attack bullet punch, which doesn't knock it out, but puts it like super low for every other mon to guarantee knock it out, even if he roosts. Like besides Finny, but I could have just gone hard into Reuniclus after he went for the Fire Fang and knock it out with the Psychic. But Fire Fang actually didn't even KO me from this range, I think. Oh no, he wasn't intimidated, so yeah, it would have KO'd, but anyway. I like I think like I was pretty sure because he viewed the aerial ace earlier and had the Thunder Fang. I don't think he would have um, he would have the would have the Fire Fang here because I thought he like was like to have Ice Fang for Lando or potentially Stone Edge or Crunch to hit Reuniclus, so otherwise he would have been walled by that thing. Hippo comes in, takes 27, so this reveals to be a non-defensive Hippo. Like it's maybe it's impish, but it's definitely no EVs, or like it's careful and has some EVs, but pretty much uninvested Hippo, but like with a boosting nature or non-boosting nature, but a little bit of investment. But that's good to know because that means my Earthquake from Landorus will keep it low. It will do like 30, 35ish, which is good to know, especially knowing that he doesn't have the what's called the leftovers. So Grant comes in. I know I outspeed this Hippo unless it's like Jolly, and I can fire off a Scald here. Torrent boosted, will KO Mew after taking a spike, and let's see, with Sand up, I do 34, he would be at 35, and now with Sand, he's at 29, so if I were speedy, this would be a dead Flawless and pretty much a guaranteed win for Uniclus unless I played really badly, so I go for another Skull, knowing that he goes for the Wish, and I get Parrot. So instead of having a dead Flawless with Sack Fodder Greninja that can also get up a Spike on Hippo alive, um, I will be potentially a dead Greninja and the Flawless at 70, which is super annoying. Yeah, like obviously it's a game, it happens. I was kind of annoyed during this game, but it's important in Mons to stay focused and look at the big picture. I'm still in a very good spot. Like I keep his shit low despite the wish he gets off here, but I can just freely go into my Scissor here. I think. Do I go into Scissor or onto Finny? One of the two. Oh no, I go into Volk, yeah, on the Moonblast. As he gets his wish off. He's at 67 after this turn. I'm at 75. Yeah, I'm sure like he doesn't want to give me a free Quiver Dance because if I get to +2, like Arrow, or even if I get to +1, Arrow takes like 50 from a Psychic or like 40 from a Fiery Dance. So I'm like, yeah, he probably wants to go for a Toxic here or go hard into Arrow. And I want to cover that, even though like my Finny doesn't really beat Roost Arrow 1 vs 1. It still gets some nice damage off with the Moonblast, and it forces him to like Thunderfang, in which case I can easily switch out into Scissor or Lando. But he goes for another Wish here, as could have I could have just like attacked this Flawless to keep it low, or like just quivered up, which actually would have given me some nice damage on Arrow. But anyway, he makes the play, works out for him. But I go for the Moonblast, he goes into Mew, and I bob the Mew, so the wish is wasted. So it ended up all well. Now he brings an Ape, and I'm like, why would you bring an Ape? Like, yes, it outspeeds me, and yes, if that is his rocket, it can get up rocks here, but like I still got my default at a nice amount of health, and I can like just do some nice damage with the Moonblast here. So I don't know. He already revealed to be the Evire, so I know this isn't the Gang shot, and I easily live a Gang even from Life of Ape. Later he told me it was Sash, so which like Stealth Rocks kinda imply. I get a crit with the Moonblast, which you can say what you want, but this is deserved. It puts Ape in guaranteed range of Scissors BP, but even a regular Moonblast would have put him at like 37, which means he was in range of BP after another round of spikes. So doesn't really, it won't make a difference in this game anyway, but it definitely wouldn't have made a difference um, overall. But anyway, he goes into Evire here now. I really was close to Moonblasting again, but I want to scout for Gang Shot here and go into my Scissor, which I think was my best play. And now Showdown fucks me in the ass because I was like, on this turn, I was like, yeah, does he bop his Z here? I think so because he wants to get rid of Scissor because looking at his team, Scissor just wins. Like Scissor plus Reuniclus just wins despite like Hippo being around. Like Scissor just goes so much in, so fucking in. Like Bob's arrow, if I get some chip, it Bob's flawless, it Bob's Inferno now. So I'm like, yeah, like I was scouting for the flamethrower here by going into Finny, but I also was like scouting for Z Gigavolt Havoc by going to Lando. I clicked both of them, I canceled them. Then I clicked Finny, thinking, yeah, I gotta scout for flamethrower, it's my best day. But then I was like, I don't I don't really need Landers. Let me go into Lando. I canceled it twice, but it didn't work out. So I go into Finny and he bobs me with the Z wild charge here, which is super annoying, but it happens like sometimes. Maybe I didn't hit the button. I don't know, but I think like Showdown fucked me in the ass there, or like it just lagged for me and I just couldn't cancel because the turn already had started. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. Like Finny goes down, which is unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. Despite like despite it going like doing a solid job for his Flawless because it can just taunt it and keep it low. But now I can go into Reuniclus and claim one with Psychic. Even if he goes Flawless, like Psychic after Spikes is a 2-hit KO, so he can't go hard Flawless, which is pretty clean. So yeah, Psychic definitely my play here. He stays in for the wild charge. I think that's his best play too. I think Evi did his job by claiming one versus Finny, and now Arrow comes in and I'm like, oh no, please don't let this be pursued. Don't be Aerial Ace Thunderfang Pursuit Roost. Like this is such an unset versus me. So I decide to switch out into Grand, sacking a TNT. Thankfully only has the crunch. And yeah, gets rid of my Grand. But now I can go into Sis and just click Roost here. See that goes for the Aerial Ace, that's 31. And now like this Scissor just wins pretty much versus squad. Hippo is low, I can just U-turn out into whatever. I can't get off my defog here. I don't really need the spike being up anymore. Even though it's nice for Uniclus versus Flawless, but that's pretty much it. Crits me with the Aerial Ace, doesn't really matter. I Rooster once more, and now I'm gonna click Bullet Punch, do 77, which is nice. I see Aerial Ace me again, and go for the Bullet Punch again. He sacks Ape, which I think was his best play because Arrow still gives him a slight chance versus Volk being around. So even though like it looks like this arrow looks like it's either 4 attacks with edge, or it's like just 3 attacks roost with aerial ace. And aerial ace, I live that shit, and it makes contact so I can burn the arrows. So kind of surprising to see the set there, but put in quite some work. But now Hippo comes in and he actually told me after the game he was Assault with Hippowdon as a lure for +1 Volk. Pretty interesting set, but I can just U-turn out, go into my Landorus here on the fire thing, click Earthquake, get rid of the Hippo. Earthquake guaranteed kill because Hippo was at 31.2 actually, 31.S was the minimum, and yeah, he revealed earlier that he was no defense really. So he brings out his arrow, and all I have to do to win this game here is click Earthquake, preventing him from roosting, because if he kills me, and I can just like bullet punch with scissor for the win, and if he like roosts, I get rid of this one too, claiming another kill for Lando. That works out, and now it's Flawless against the world, and Flawless can't beat Scissor plus Volcarona. I go for the Earthquake here. I see drops him with the Moonblast. He doesn't try to go for Wish Protect because Sand is still up. And now I can just go into my bulk, get it another kill, and win this game 3-0. Definitely a very interesting game. GG to Tyler. He made some wild plays that somehow all worked out for him, but some players I definitely should have capitalized on, um, especially in the early game. Like it could have just bopped Elective via turn one. Um, I still don't get behind the power punch play because I could be Scarf, bulky Scarf to bop it and to live an Ice Punch if it was Scarf itself. I could have been Yachi Berry. I could have been like so bulky that I guaranteed live an Ice Punch after Intimidate, which I almost was. Like Ice Punch in Maxwell was like 1 or 2% or something versus my versus my Lando, but yeah, definitely should have capitalized on that, and I probably could have won a little bit bigger, but overall I'm very happy with how I played the end game. Just try to stay focused and play my game, and yeah, find a way to win. That's the important thing. I felt like this was a little bit of a trap game on my schedule, um, because like Tyler always makes these wild plays and wild sets that I can't really get behind, and um, we were supposed to play like a week ago easily, and I built a squad at least 2 weeks ago, and like I wasn't like I knew what my sets did, but it's always like you're not as used to a squad um, when you use it like 2 weeks after you expected it to use it. So I still knew my spreads, knew what they did, still knew my win cons, but like it was like kind of like lost the touch, which I also did because Tyler was super busy with work, and we already got an extension to get the game done, and he was like, yeah, if I can't play today, that's what he said yesterday, that if I can't play today, I'm gonna get to the forfeit. I said, yeah, like, um, let me check how it goes, let me see when you're free, and he was like, yeah, I can get up early tomorrow, like today, and play you then. And I was like, yeah, sure. Even though like I had like the forfeit win in my mind already, but um, good to get a win instead of a forfeit win. Like it always feels better. um, I like I really like winning versus um, like winning where I have to try instead of like just claiming the win and go on with my day. Like Monster's still a fun game to play, even though this game was kind of frustrating. But anyway, we got a win 3-0. We're 7-1 now. I think the best team in the league, easily. Well, not easily. Like I think Melon is like 5-2 or 6-2. So yeah, we gotta be mindful of him. Being in our neck and trying to wrestle away the number one spot from us. But overall, I'm very happy with how the season is going. I'm playing Melon in 2 weeks, and I think if I win my week 9 and if I beat Melon, I clinch number one in the conference. I'm pretty sure because my differential is so good. Um, and yeah, that's definitely the goal. So I definitely want to try and win my next 2 games and put myself in the best position possible for playoffs. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and a comment if you did, and I catch you in my next video. See ya.